Hey guys, here's another gameplay critique. This one is featuring Fupa. I know his name is different here, but he's a member of Motu. You guys are probably familiar with him. If you want to check him out, he has a YouTube channel. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So it looks like he's Jetpack, Adrenaline Stim, Pulse Cannon, and Bodyguard. Okay, we're doing Drop Zone. That was a rush shot, if you see right here. That's not really necessary. What would have been a smarter move to do is just sprint roll along here, along this path to your lower left, and then do the jump pulse when the enemies are more here, because back here you're probably not going to land the shot. And again, this is a public game, so like the only purpose of this is just getting a kill, and I think you understand that, but if this is like actually a competitive match, that would have been a waste of a pulse cannon. So it's right here, your kind of clunky movement right here. If you look, I can tell you're just looking at your cards right there because you're not really engaging what's happening, picking enemies, prioritizing, watching where your teammates are. Again, another rush shot. If you see here, when he does the jump pulse here, you're keeping your mouse stationary, and see right here you lock in your mouse, and then you try to have the jetpack path go into the shot. And that's it's not the most fluid. So good prioritize him. Yep, definitely need to work on the small movements though. I can tell that you're struggling there. Again, very clunky movements. There's not a lot of fluidity. If you watch like right here, he stops, gets his pulse cannon out, and starts moving again. Rush shot, don't feel bad taking your time with those shots if you're confident that you can hit quick shots like that. But yeah, right now, like, this is a public drop zone game, so it really doesn't matter. But normally at this point of the game, you're a minute in and haven't gotten any kills. Maybe have gotten like a couple assists. That was beautiful though. That was good watching the radar. Yeah, just make sure that you're helping your team out. Wasted jetpack right there. I mean, the whole purpose of using your jetpack, like in a situation like that, is to cover ground more quickly. But I mean, in that distance, you might as well just have forward rolled and kept your jetpack. Because now, what if somebody decided to jetpack up here with a rocket launcher? Okay, good kill. One thing that I would say is look at where you're standing when you get this kill. You're exposing yourself to the spawn see these guys in red. When this guy comes from here, you don't even need to watch the radar. You should know that they're going to be spawning. You have hundreds of hours on this game, so you know that there's that spawn back behind that tunnel area. So if there's one enemy here and you start shooting at him, if there's a guy back here, he's going to see your shots, he's going to see his teammate go down, and he's going to shoot you. So, just maybe, just be aware of that. But you can see there was kind of no check to the right or anything. You instantly just kind of went this way. And now you're checking that. So there you go. Doing a good job of watching your radar here. Okay, personally, again, I think something you were asking me in particular, Fupa, is you want to get, more kills, fewer deaths kind of thing. Like, you understand what you're doing. This is a perfect example of you didn't do a bad move, but you did a wrong move, if that makes sense. So right here, I thought what you were doing here initially, so you check here, you see the radar, you know that they're going to be coming up here. I thought what you were going to do is you're going to go right here and then about face and turn around and look at the enemies coming over that ridge. Jumping down for a cookie, a cookie might help you get, if you get a rocket launcher, good, you got one kill. But if you turn around here, you can cover that tunnel on the left, and you can cover that top side AT-AT, and that's two areas where, I mean, there's at least two enemies over there, because there's two blips on the radar. There's probably more, in all honesty. So, again, just, you didn't do a bad move going for a cookie, but, like, in a pug, this would have been a terrible move, because you would be giving up control of the high ground. You would be giving up control of a power position for the sake of getting a cookie. Not really worth it, especially when your teammates here, they're going to be grabbing cookies too, because it's a public game. And then again, this is kind of that kind of like crouch. It's just weird. It's just like you need, yeah. See, like this guy here, you need to be engaging constantly. So good. Now you need to be looking high ground and looking behind you. Yeah, good. Unwasted adrenaline stim right there. I think that may have been a bit of a panic, because if you watch your health, you're at 91. You popped it at 91 health. And again, you have cover. So even if there was a guy shooting at you from up here, all you have to do is move left, and you still have cover from this guy, and you still have cover from above. Okay, so now you're watching radar. Good. Good tilt peek. So if you guys saw this here, he did a tilt peek. I'll wait for it. Right, he's going to look down and to the left here. See that? He looks down and to the left. And what this allows you to do is it puts your camera around this corner a little bit better so you can see the enemy coming. And sure enough, he sees the enemy. There you go. Easy kill. Good headshot, too.
We're taking possession.
Little bit, just a little bit, there's a little bit of hesitation on a lot of your engagements. I'm noticing that. A lot of your actions have hesitation. Like right there, right here, what you should have done is don't jetpack right here. Just go right here, take your pulse cannon shot. If it's not there, then you jetpack. It's just little things like this. See, what you're doing here by jetpacking first is you're surprising yourself unnecessarily. Like, you jetpack, there's 0 enemies. Oh, damn, I wasted my jetpack. You jetpack and there's 5 enemies. Oh, shit, I need to quickly choose one and hit that target. If you had just walked out here, you may have seen, you know, maybe 0 enemies. That's fine. Then you jetpack and you get to cover over there. Or you may have seen like 3 enemies and you pick one, you snipe him. Or if he's like behind cover, then you jetpack and snipe. So it just, you know, you're working against yourself here. If you land a shot, I'm going to be impressed. Nice job. That was a long shot. I do want to say though that was a good decision making on your part when you go for, you pick and choose. I personally would have chosen this guy immediately. If you're not, I can tell from the way you're jump sniping, you have a lot of aim work to do, and you know that. But it's interesting watching how you're compensating for this. See, your jetpack is going to carry you into the path. Your cursor was here, and then you corrected to here. And you let the shot go with the jetpack pushing you, the jetpack's momentum. So it's just funny how you're using that to kind of correct yourself because you weren't confident taking this shot, which is a lot easier because he's closer, he's stationary. This guy's a complete noob. But I understand you're not confident in that because you got to move your mouse against the movement of your jetpack momentum. So, good clip. Very, very good demonstration of understanding your own play style, I guess. And your Viper droid got a kill, cool. Personally, I would have tilt peeked. Small little critique here, right here. I would have tilt peeked before you expose yourself, because whenever you go around a corner sprinting, if there was an enemy there, then every single gunfight you want to get into, you want to have the advantage. Right there, if there was an enemy down here, you probably would have beat him in a fight, right? But it's just a good habit to get into of never sprint around corners. Give yourself that advantage. Make it so you see the enemy first, not him seeing you at the same time. Unnecessarily adrenaline stim. What you could have done here, I can tell that you're really a good gauge of I guess a good gauge of something you want to improve is try playing with adrenaline stim, but only use it maximum 3 times in a game. I know me personally, I run adrenaline stim basically every single game, and I use it between 0 and 3 times. More often than not, it's only like once per game, and that's because by now, if you had connected like those 2 first pulse cannon shots, and if you had turned around on that AT-AT, you would have been level 3 a bit earlier, and you wouldn't have to be in a situation of, you know, should I get low health? And by the way, at 43 health, you're still effectively 86 health, because bodyguard level 3 is double the health, so I personally wouldn't have popped it. What you could have done here is just stayed behind cover and waited out a little bit more. right there, you had gone undercover, then you had popped out and shot him when you were ready, and then here again, you stay undercover, and then you shoot when you're ready again. So like that was a good use of cover, but it was sloppy with the adrenaline stim, and it was sloppy with I guess. Let me just back up here and watch this again. No, I guess it wasn't. I guess the adrenaline stim was just unnecessary. I guess you didn't. No, you didn't play that wrong. That's my bad. You played that fine. Just the adrenaline stim was unnecessary, is all. Okay, right there. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like how you and Dace have a very similar play style. Decision making ASAP. When something like this happens, you instantly need to realize what's the greater threat and how do I counter this. So right here, you should have backed up into the cave. That way this guy can't shoot you, and shoot this guy in the butt. And then you come around and you kill this guy. And if you had done that properly, look at this. This guy didn't even know you were there. You could have killed him in 2 bursts. You turn around and you kill that guy in 2 bursts. You could have fired 4 bursts. And they were both like stationary targets. Like yeah, this guy who has his back to you, he's right here. He's moving, but he's walking straight back. So he's basically a stationary target. And then this guy's so bad, he's basically a stationary target again. So instead, I think I talked to you about this. Make a decision and go with it. Don't go half-assed both ways. Because look, you shoot him and then you disengage. And look at this. This guy's already around the corner. You miss that. And you get him. But in like a pug, that would have been a terrible mistake. Because that would have cost your teammate's life right there. And it probably would have been your life too. So just, yeah, decision making. Find the greater threat. Right now, you should be, by the way, you should be scoping up and shooting this guy out of the sky. Okay, not bad. Panic jetpack, but wait, was that because he shot a secondary fire? Okay. Oh, if that wasn't because he shot the secondary fire, then that was a not the best jetpack. Did you just eat 2 cookies? Why? Yeah, don't worry so much about cookies in public games. Remember, you get cookies from like every 4th kill. So if you get 4 kills, that's the equivalent of going back to the pod. So if I were you, I would have continued out of that cave. Let's see how you do here, how many enemies are into. A little bit overly cautious here. Okay, now you should move. Good. Don't engage. Good. Go. A little bit overly cautious here. Want to make a move. Okay. Still overly cautious. In a public game, you're level 3. You can outplay all these guys. Good shot. That was good. Slightest bit of hesitation on the end of it, though. If you guys watch, he does leave his crosshair lingering on it. Which, I don't know, honestly, that was a fine shot. Yeah, no, I guess that was fine. Okay, good peek. Good. Okay, now you move on to the next enemy. Good. Good. See, a lot of bad players would have kept holding down that position, which is just unnecessary. Personally here, this is, I guess, this isn't a wrong thing, but this is just how my playstyle differs. I'm really kill hungry, and you're not. So you're going to stay back here by the pod, which makes sense from an objective standpoint. But from a killmonger standpoint, you should have jetpacked right here. Positioned yourself right here. Red is only coming from here. They're all spawning in that cave. I guarantee you right now there's probably 3 of them over there. There's 1. There's 2 throwing a grenade. Tilt peek. Good. Yeah, there's a good number over there. And so, see, you got an assist there, and that one guy got away, and your buddy rushed it. So, just missed opportunities. Like, nothing wrong, just missed kill opportunities by not moving forward. There's also a guy to your left currently. There you go. Good, you got those headshots. Something that, I don't know what mouse you're using or how you're comfortable rapid firing, but there definitely is some jitteriness. And part of that, I know you're talking about you want to improve your aim, but something that will also improve your aim is, as you can see here, your keyboard aiming. You're going back and forth, leaving your cursor in the same spot and just kind of shooting and hoping that those shots land. So just be like aware. It's kind of like when you use a DL44, right? Any kind of blast that you click, you can put the cursor on the guy and track him, and just spam click, right? But if he's not in that position where your crosshair is, when you actually click, you're gonna miss. If you just track him, it doesn't matter because you still have to time your clicks. Same thing with the EE3. Good moving up, taking the high ground. Good move. Good move. All right, good. You got the high ground. Watch the radar. Flawless. Yeah, I guess the only thing, this is not at all a big deal because these guys are bad. But when you C-switch here, and there's another enemy coming, you C-switched back by accident, but I think you're well aware that you didn't need to do that. There also could have been a little bit more mirror movement there, but I'm not too concerned. These guys are bad. Okay, good. See, right there. I don't know if it was your mouse, but right here, you're dead center on him, but you misclick, so it misses, because then you have to overcompensate. See that? See that you were on him, but you just misclicked your EE3. I'll go ahead and replay that for you guys so you can see. Yeah, that misclick. Also, personally, I wouldn't have let that... I guess the overheat didn't matter too much there. Good, get kind of shield. Okay. That's okay, again, because these guys are bad. Personally, I would have been a little bit more patient going in. I would have done... let's see, right here, after you kill this guy. Before, I would have gone here, because then that gives you a vantage point down here. Then you can decide. See, again, you're surprising yourself with enemies. When you come around this corner, I mean, you're fine because there's not a whole lot on the radar, and these guys are bad. But you're surprising yourself. You're like, oh shit, around the corner. Okay, where are they? Where do I have to aim? If you had taken up that position first, you could have pulsed him. You still would have had your jetpack, and you still would have had your rocket launcher, so you could have done a follow-up with a second kill. You would have pulsed that guy that you just smart rocketed if you'd gone for those, like, milk crates. Good grenade dodge. I personally would have rolled left side, but that's okay. Watch radar on your left. Good watch. Don't pop stim. Oh no! See, this is another problem that I know a lot of people think, shit, I'm low health, I need to pop shield, I need to pop stim. This is like one of the most common mistakes that players who understand the game but aren't good players do, and that's because they're like, I gotta use my card. Well, if you think about it, if you're more in the face style player like me, whenever you use your adrenaline stim, that means you can't use it for the next, whatever seconds it's on cooldown. So there's just an opportunity cost with every choice. Again, clunky movement right there. Right here, should have rolled back. That's the kind of mistake that'll cost you a life and a pug. You were complaining about your aim earlier, but honestly, this was okay. This was actually okay. See, what a lot of people do is they don't even bother tracking this guy. They just try to land. They just try to aim where he's about to land. But look at this. You dropped him down to like 60% health before he... Oh no, you dropped him to like barely any health before he landed. That was good. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Also, don't be afraid in that situation. Don't be afraid to actually go for the melee. Yeah, it sometimes means that you'll lose health, but it's sometimes a really, really good follow-up because it's instantaneous 50% health. You didn't really do anything wrong there, just except for that initial roll here. Like, again, you're like, oh shit, wrong button. Your first move should be move out of the way, not disengage my star card. See, yeah, you'd kind of... I don't know if you'd meant to roll, but yeah, like, there you go. You roll... You did eventually roll to cover, so that was good. That was a good pulse cannon shot. I guess I didn't mention that. Yeah, no, that was played pretty well. That was a good defensive play. Something I'm definitely noticing, Fupa, is, again, much like Dace, you benefit from a defensive style. Like, look at... That is an exact example of you're just out defending him. He makes the mistake of exposing himself. You fire like 3 bursts and he's dead. Again, this is slower. You're hesitating with your decisions. You have already committed to using a jump pack and a pulse cannon, so you're going to do that here. You should have disengaged and like instantly rolled. If you watch some of my gameplay, when I have panic moments, my first instinct is to roll, which isn't. I don't want to say it's like the correct thing to do, but it's not a bad decision because then I'm not using up any star cards, and then I'm also repositioning myself. And for me personally, because I do have a confidence in my aim, where as soon as I roll, that gives me enough time to collect my thoughts and analyze how I'm going to take out that target. That was a fun little shot on this football. So like that ended up working out. Yeah. A little bit sloppy bursting there. That's okay. This is good. This is another good thing. If you guys watch, another mistake that a lot of people do is they're like, ooh, enemy right here. So they keep this position and they just keep shooting from here. That's not what you want to do. As you can see, Fupa is keeping an eye on that enemy and he's slowly moving forward. That's what he's supposed to be doing. This is like what so many people do wrong in pugs is here's the objective, here's an enemy. That doesn't mean just sit back here and take pot shots and accomplish nothing. That means you can use this as leverage to move forward. And that's sure enough what Fupa does. If this is my play style, good, you're doing a little bit of scanning. Your teammates have that covered, so you move lower. That's good. I personally would have chosen high ground, but this is still okay. That was, again, another example of a misclick. Ooh, you are playing at a high sensitivity. If you guys watch here... I do like this though. You do the kind of like quick shot, and then you're looking for where that enemy's gonna land, and then he lands, and you take him out. But you do a misclick somewhere, right there, and then right there. When you do that, when you do this around motion, this is how I know you're playing at high sensitivity. That motion right there, yeah. I would have had to move my mouse a lot for that. So I don't know what centimeter 360 you play at, but not a bad thing. Just pointing that out. Easy kill, good. I'll take that high ground. Good C switch. Good look. I'm liking what I'm seeing. By the way, I think that guy may have gone under tired fighter. Yeah. So right here. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just pointing out something. So right here, you see the red right in front of you, and you're like looking over here. Well, right about here when you did that roll. There he is. Yep, there he is. I didn't see that initially when you did the roll, but I just knew that the red faded over there. So personally, if this was me, I would have gone up that TIE fighter, taken him out immediately, and then turned around here. You can also, if you guys listen closely, I'll turn up the speakers, you can also hear the enemy who's still on the right by the TIE fighter yell. See that? So Fupa, make sure you're playing with headphones because you should have heard him say, it's one of our soldiers and shit like that. And there he is. Don't rush this. Okay. This decision making was actually okay. This is what I would have done if I was in that situation. Personally, I wouldn't have done the jetpack here. I would have just pulsed this guy. That was also on him. I don't know why that missed. Stupid third-person camera. So right here, this is good though. By engaging him and walking this way, that guy has to come around the corner. What you're essentially doing is mirror movement. So now you're behind the corner, and the only way for this guy to engage you is by exposing himself, which he does. So like that was, easy outplay. Good job. Good. Unnecessary adrenaline stim. Now just be careful not to get too focused. Okay, good. Beautiful. Oh, that was good. That was good tracking and good click time. Good. Nice kill, nice kill. If you guys see, he actually corrects his aim before the enemy is there. He actually leads his shot for that last burst, and that's because he knows this enemy is only going one direction, and that's out of his line of sight. So if you see, the center of his crosshair is actually in front of the target. But the target's moving in that direction, and that's kind of his last spot to finally fire from. And like the entire burst connects and it kills him. So that was very well done. You fucking hacker. Flawless. Oh. Yeah, don't be afraid to let your pulse charge for a long duration. Oh, that would have been a cool double. That, I don't know if that would have been better. Wow. Damn, Fupa. I gotta rewatch that last kill. Oh my goodness, that's dirty. Oh, that is dirty. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, and a few concluding thoughts. So Fupa had told me a lot of his problems, I think, comes from a lack of confidence in his aim. After watching this, you do have some really good shots in here, and you do have a decent level of confidence in them. What I'm seeing more of a lack of confidence in is your movement. If we go back to, like in particular, that one time that you like, I don't remember where it was, but you would like uncharge your pulse cannon, and it was just like, I think it may have been before this. Yeah. I don't know, it's just kind of like you're not driving your character so much as the character is driving you. It just doesn't seem like you have full control at certain times. But then at other times, like that last kill, it's like you have such a confidence. Like you shot those 2 bursts. You probably didn't expect to get that kill completely, and that's why you ran over here to finish him off after he landed. But you still made those shots, and when that guy jetpacked over the tents earlier too, you had still committed to those shots. Right here. Yeah, look at that. And you dropped them down to like 10 health. So your aim isn't so much, I think, you're comfortable moving your mouse around. I'll say that. You're comfortable moving your mouse around. What I think you could really work at is perhaps confidence in understanding your enemies are just targets. You don't have to pop stim to beat them. They're just people behind a keyboard kind of thing. It doesn't take much to outsmart them. So, yeah, I don't know. I do really like though your more defensive play style. You're a little bit more methodical. You're a little bit more purposeful. I don't know what your final score was here. 46-0, so that's good. And more importantly though is you did a really really good job of controlling the pods. You could have jetpacked around the map a little bit more and gotten more kills. Like, you definitely could have gotten 60 kills this game. I think you're capable of that. But you had focused on staying by the pod and not farming their spawns. So, yeah. And then it's great because you got Hackusated too. So, I hope this video was helpful. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed because, like, I was really thinking I would find something in your playstyle that really screams at me as, like, you could change this and it'd be a lot better. But I think it's more of just you just need to take charge a little bit more, if I could sum it up. Just take charge of the situation. You know, like, you took charge in... You took charge in this situation right here. And that guy had no chance. You know, some other little tips that you can use here. Say you hadn't finished him off in those bursts and he had lit you up. You go behind cover here and you do a jump shot. Single jump burst. You land that burst and that's 63 damage from your EE3. So, little tricks like that. You know, you would take in charge in, where was that situation? Right here. You take your shots and you move forward. You take some more shots, you get some hit markers, you move forward. And you're still keeping an eye on him. And look at that. That had bought, you know, that guy backed off because he was low health, and your teammates went in there and finished him off. And that allowed you to move up here. It's, again, it's taking charge. It's more situations like at the very beginning where, I don't know if it's just because you were level 1 or if it's just the situations, but like right here. This clunky little movement right here, where you're like, what do I do? What do I do? And you're like, okay, I jetpack up here. It's not really taking charge. Yeah, you're getting the high ground, but it's kind of weak. Yeah. Anyway, I think you don't give yourself enough credit. I think you are actually playing with very few flaws. The only thing you could really benefit from is taking charge, be more aggressive, and watch your adrenaline stim popping. So, All right, this video went on for a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but hopefully this helps you, Fupa. Um, I know he has one more clip that he wants to upload. If you want to send me another, um, go right for it. One final closing thought that I want to leave everyone with is Rocket Jump Ninja. He's a mouse reviewer I watch on YouTube. He did a video once about how you break your skill ceiling. So a lot of players get into the situation of you reach a certain potential level and you can't get above that. You know, you reach a 3-point KD, you're like awesome, and you can't get past it. You know, you'll still have some good games and you'll still have some bad games. Well, one of the ways you break your skill ceiling is you try something different. So, like Fupa, I don't know, try lowering your sensitivity by 10 centimeters. Try raising your sensitivity by 10 centimeters. Try playing like a spaz and rushing in. Try playing how you normally do, but maybe with slightly different cards. Just try different things. You know, 5 games of trying shit might wreck your KD a little bit, but if you learn even one simple thing from doing that, that can help you in the long term. It's the same thing like playing other games. You'll go and you'll play a different game. Like, I use thermal debts like every single pug pretty much. Part of the reason from that is Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played a lot of that. Grenades were very important in that game for, not necessarily for kills, but for control. And that's what I use grenades for in this game too. You know, somebody's behind cover, you grenade the left side of the cover, you aim to the right. He has 2 choices, roll into the grenade or roll into your blaster fire. It's about control. So try stuff out, try to be a little bit more aggressive, try changing settings, try changing cards, whatever. Try changing modes, try playing with different people even. Um, yeah, so I guess that does it. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to submit your own gameplay, you can email manphalanges@gmail.com with the YouTube link. As far as right now goes, I'm only really looking to critique PC gameplay. This game's kind of dying, and I get a lot of requests still. So, yeah. And then obviously I'm going to favor the people that I know a little bit better, but more importantly, I'm going to favor the people whose play style I think the community can learn from. So maybe in the email include a little blurb about how you think you play. Yeah, so with that, thanks guys for watching, and I hope you learned something.